Damn it, Sean! What the hell are you doing over there?
Hey, Road Dog. I'm sorry, Master. Hey, Master. It's now 10:30. Don't beat me. Whoa. What the hell? If only there was some kind of magic we could do to speed up time. If only. Wouldn't that be nice? We wouldn't have to sit here and watch this counter just keep going down. Surely someone should work on that. Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto with Road Dog. My name is Lane. Taking a look at the market, it looks like altcoins might be coming back from the dead. Seems to be coming up a little bit. WIF seems to be doing all right. Stacks is getting a little bit of a comeback. Pepe's doing pretty good. Let's take a look and see what's going on with the market. Well, let's start out with boring Bitcoin. I'm here on the 1 hour time frame. Thought it was going to be the 6 minute, didn't you? Short term, she looks kind of interesting. She broke this trend line. It came an internal trend line, found some resistance in that area. And now that we kind of talked about that, we got our secondary trend line area right here. So what's going on here? Where we're slowly not really going higher. That's what's going on. Now, can it change? Well, of course it can change. I'm not expecting things to go too much, but I am kind of curious about what we do have past about 62.4 now. Silly me was trying to layer in maybe a possible tiny short, just playing with that idea here. This little comeback area, just because it's the 618. If she starts breaking up and looking bearish, bullish above this, well, then I'm just going to take my losses on that one and not go for it anymore. Because I like what I'm seeing here on the 1 hour. It looks kind of interesting. Bigger time frames. Yeah, we're still kind of, we're still under the weather. If you kind of zoom out a little bit, we've kind of established a little channel idea. It probably looks a little bit better on a smaller time frame, like a 4 hour. Kind of see more of the ups and downs there. It's just taken from this line and transferred up. Gives me a little notion that maybe around 63,200, 63,300 in that area, there might be some a nice resistance looking over to the left here. That's where this little bottom area comes in. Maybe we can bump it up a candle. We're on what, a 4 hour? I doubt that we get there in the next 4 hours, but still, are we trying to keep coming up? Was this it? We just come down, or are we going to roll back over and maybe touch it again? Well, that's what we're waiting for. To find out if it's the breakout of this trend line, if it does get above 63.5, then can hold that area, then great, we might have something going on. Otherwise, you know, I'm looking for maybe a continuing downside, continuing to the downside. Some suggestions I'll keep coming across tell me that maybe until, you know, that first week of July is through before we start seeing a really strong trend reversal. That's just some of the signs I'm seeing. This was nice to get a bounce from this area. Thank you, Bitcoin, for bouncing from this place just like $2 after you liquidated my ass. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate you, buddy. But now we got a nice little bounce back. Such is life in crypto. Hey. Just following the trends, and here's where we lost it, and here's where we are now. We just got to see what we do, or we're going to roll over. Looking at small time frames, man, 50 minutes looks good. All the smaller time frames have been very bullish since we came down here to the liquidation point. 58,000 and some odd. Anyway. Smaller time frames are looking good. So, yeah, we can continue going up. This little area right here is we've been contending with that 62,400, but getting past that 63.5 could be on the radar, and we just gotta see where we can go from there. That's going to be an important point to get past if we can do it. Remember, we are basically in technically a bearish kind of shape here. It's a rising channel shape, and depending on how you draw it, if you're looking for the pattern of it, it's basically you're just in a maybe a rising wedge. If you want to look at it that way, you take into account the whole bottom, it definitely looks like it's a little bit more that way. It just kind of has some funky trend lines. Now, yeah, okay, we got 1, 2, 3 touches. It's valid. So there you go for that. Personally, I'm not looking for that. I'm kind of still sticking with this original idea right here. That's it for Bitcoin. Total 3 over here. Got a nice little bounce back and a possible breakout from this local trend line right here. Nice signs. We're seeing a little bounce back in altcoins. Meme coins are starting to look a little nicer at the moment. Bitcoin dominance at a point down here where we are right now, 54.7 cents or 7%. Good place for it to get a reversal also and start going back the other way. If it does that, I don't expect the total 3 or the altcoins to continue as strong of a move to the upside. They may continue up, but Bitcoin dominance would more than likely put most of the forethought the impact onto Bitcoin. And finally, we're just keeping an eye on the dollar. As the dollar goes up west, it's usually bad for Bitcoin, stock market, altcoins, all that stuff as it kind of keeps going up and up and up, heading toward 107. Keep our eye on that. She's on an upward trend too. So, I don't see anything in here that makes me think that we're just making a big ass comeback from Bitcoin just yet. Now, about a week from now, I may be working on it, but then again, that puts us close to July. So within the next 2 weeks, yeah, I could probably see something. So we're just wondering now, was this a reversal or does it come back down and then come back up? Man, we're under a green cloud. We're under the non-moving average on the daily. Still haven't really touched the 200, don't have to, but we're just kind of in a no man's land. Moving averages are still crossing bearishly over each other, so there's still some downward pressure to be coming our way, in my personal opinion. Even though you got the great blessings of the green dot on market cipher right here, looking like the short term couple of days, maybe a rally up, but I'm not expecting anything just huge. That non-moving average is coming in at 63,600-ish, about right where we got our target at too on the daily. Little confluence, we got to get up there. If we can't get past it, and may not. If we do look at the 21 moving average up here with the 150, that could be up to 66. There might be like a nice quick move up there, but if it did, I would expect a pullback back to the areas about 63.5. So a choppy market is kind of what I'm seeing, but a little bit more bullish on the short term. So in the meantime, altcoins get to do pretty good, and here we are on the daily altcoin on top 100. Looks pretty nice. Check out our watch list over here. These are the ones that are up for the year mostly. Has that changed? There's a few little, yeah, we gotta adjust this, but most of them are still up. They're good. Shout out to everybody who's hanging out with me tonight on the stream. We're taking a look at Bitcoin in the markets, and now we're getting ready to move over to the news and then check out the altcoins. Mr. Miles says, I hear the mic check, but we'll see. Mr. Miles says, I don't want to speed up time. I want to slow it down. Life is too damn short. That is very true, Mr. Miles. It seems unfair to see how short it is when you really think about it. I think the only people, well, not the only ones, but I think another species that really gets screwed on that short lifespan is dogs. I think dogs have too short of a lifespan. For as good and wholesome as they are, I think they should be around a little bit longer. All right, guys, let's take a look. Thanks for hanging out. I got lost there. Got Mr. Miles, got Sam Webb, got Strega Heart hanging out with me tonight. Appreciate you guys. Those guys are the troopers. And I suppose right now we'll go ahead and knock the altcoin news out of the way. Make that real quick. Boom. Did you just say boom? I did. All right, so what happened the last 12 hours in crypto? Courtesy of Layer GG official over on Twitter X. Sweet co-founder Eamon Nabio has teased an upcoming announcement for Sweet. There's gonna be an announcement for Sweet. Maybe. Maybe not. ARB. Arbitrum DAO is proposing the launch of ARB staking. Expected APY is 7%, and voting will occur next month's next month's snapshot. ETH5 Foundation has announced a proposal to allocate 25 million ETH5 tokens for season 3. Friend Tech has opened the Friend transferability in preparation for the Friend chain launch. Have you seen anybody know anything about Friend? I don't even know anything about this. I keep seeing it pop up here though. Do I need to take a look at Friend? It sounds like a social buy kind of wait forever to make any money kind of play. Flare Foundation has proposed BIP09, a proposal to distribute 510 minions worth 510 million Flare. Take 5. 510 FLR. Those tokens to enhance the Flare ecosystem. Phantom Foundation has announced a distribution of 190 million S tokens to Opera and Sonic users. Marblex is migrating to Ethereum Layer 2 immutable ZK-EVM with a $20 million fund, while Mantle is launching a points program for his new governance token, Cook, on July 1st, lasting 100 days. Ronin Networks announced the GOTA upgrade for July 3rd, implemented EIP 1559. Boring nerd talk on all this news today will make the run more deflationary. WeMix will implement the Brioche hard fork scheduled for July 1st. Key changes will include burning WeMix, reducing the max supply, and updating tokenomics. XDC Foundation has completed the integration of Solidity boring need blah 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 8.23 and hinted at XDC 2. Nerd news. Nothing there's going to move the market. My personal protocol. While Venus Protocols announced Venus Prime launching in just a week, this upgrade aims to enhance rewards and promote the XBS staking. Interesting one right there. That one can do pretty well, oddly enough. And there we go. There's our news from Layer GG. They happening. I gotta give him a shout out. If you do go over there, every month he comes out with this calendar with all the events on it. And if you click on that, it's kind of cool. Well, I think he updates it like every 2 weeks. So a lot of things that you need to know to stay up. Probably on your coins and new releases and new mainnets and all that stuff that kind of pumps the market. Layer GG's got to cover it over there. All right, let's get back to our shots. Please don't bot on the charts. All right. So we looked over Bitcoin. We looked over basically the boring indices and everything. Take a look at some of the things that are kind of moving and kind of hot. Tokenmetrics is still looking at this coin called Hoppy. I don't even know if TradingView's got it yet, do we? Okay, MexC's got it. Let's check out old Hoppy. Wow. Hoppy. That's not bad. It's higher highs and higher lows. And if she can get past this area right here. So we're going into price discovery. Sounds so good, doesn't it? You know, going into price discovery sounds like you're going to go up here, retest it, and then boom! And that's the dream, and it can happen. This is a new coin. It might happen more than this one than not. I don't know, but how many times have you bought those price discoveries only to find out they go up and then they come down to make a higher low? So it's one of the things that I look at right here, is that higher low as a good place to come in once that's established. So with this little guy, you can do the buy higher, but I just kind of recommend waiting for a pullback. I like to buy against the trend lines. That's just me. You buy wherever you want. It may not even want to buy Hoppy. I'm not even looking at Hoppy. I'm just looking at the chart. Chart does look nice. It looks kind of cool. But Hoppy should be coming up to here. Where could you go from there, Hoppy? Oh, I'm just going to take the old measure move way and put it here, which is right there. Without even drawing all extra bells and whistles. Or you want to check it? I'll check it against my fibs just to make sure we got a decent target there. Yep, right on it right there. Boom shakalaka, boom shaka boom. Says the price could possibly go with Hoppy up to 0.000112. We're currently sitting at 0.000078. That's a pretty nice move from where we are currently. That would be what, another 50%. Hot coin, I don't know, a little, you know, risque. It is a I'm pretty sure it's a meme coin, but she's showing up hot on Tokenmetrics, so that's why we're taking a look at it. Hot trader coin, I can see why. She's in a nice kind of setup. If you look at this and, you know, just take this drill trend line and put it up there you go. Makes a little bit more sense. You see we're in a channel, top, bounce off the top, bounce off the top, probably bounce off the top again, and then come back down. All right. One of these that I got a nice big airdrop of, which I was like amazed. It's called Dog. It's D-O-G. Dog Go to the Moon is the actual name of it. And I noticed she's got a nice little come up today. Kind of making sense of whatever it might have been doing over here. Let's get rid of all that. Take a look at what we got that's new, because now we finally got something we can go by. We're bouncing here. Well, let's take a look at this one, little guy, because I didn't sell it all. Bounce off the 1618, going to take us right up here for a possible point that we can look at where I would expect price to kind of ease up to over time, and this would be the reversal area to watch, meaning this is a great area to look for shorts and to also take profits. Bless cool little area called 0.012. What are we at? 8. I likes that idea because now we've broken this trend line after we broke this trend line. And if you were the smart ones and know your secondary and all those little ways to manage your trend lines, you could have got out of the nice area. Or at least, you know, got stopped out in a nice profit, if nothing else. If you had this on an exchange, and it's also available on Dexes, and just take what you can get when you want to swap them over there. It's a little bit of a different story, but still convenient. Bouncing off the 50 moving average, we're covering the 9 moving average. Those are great little triggers for me. Finding some resistance at the 21 and the 382 Fibonacci, just spitting out all this jargon, but eventually you kind of see it goes by the same patterns every time. If you repeat it, I think you'll absorb it. And so, how did you get your measured move, road doggy? Well, now that one I've got a cheater fib up there that will save me the time from having to take this little measure move from here to there. I'll put it back here on the 618 Fibonacci and takes me right up there to it. So, isn't that cool? It just squares it right up, in my personal opinion. But there are a lot of targets in between, and to find those little guys, swing high to swing low. Tell me where you want to go. We're always going to target the 618. That's just a given. And might even throw in that 09786 right up there because, you know, things get bullish and want to go past that 618. The next stop would be that 786 Fibonacci. Why is it saying all this stuff? Because this stuff works for just any freaking asset out there. So shorter term targets 0.007, 0.0087 from where we are 0.006. So with this breakout can get a nice 26% to the first target, 38% if we go up there. And if we hit the Hail Mary, if you got patience to wait for it, it should come. No guarantees, but it's in the blueprint, okay? It's within the capabilities of executing this move. Actually, there's a higher move that we'll go with, but this is what we're shooting for. At 100% gains on this one, which would allow someone to possibly moonbag it, pull out their capital, and just let the rest of it ride in meme land for the rest of this thing, because actually this one's got a good start behind it. I don't know what the deal is behind it. I just know this one's actually worth something. One of the biggest airdrops I've ever gotten, value-wise. And it's one of them... What is it? It's not a BRC20. It's a rune, one of those rune thingies over on something related to Bitcoin off of the Rune project. Take this little guy, and then I'm going to bring this right up here where it touches really nice on those wicks and those candle body sticks, respecting this angle. And there's our channel, baby. And mod it, just take that little less much of a trend to actually get up there, which would put us right around somewhere if it holds true to price and time and angles and all that mixed match stuff has any kind of relevance. I'm going to put a little thing up here to put a little date. It might, I don't know, we kind of do this for fun, but sometimes it does work out this way. To reach that target at 0.012 cents. What was that, mid-July 18th-ish, somewhere maybe? Yeah, she might make it up to the top of that trend line sooner. We don't know. This is a projection. If she comes up to the top of the trend line, hey, there's your target. So dog looking kind of interesting to me. Make my bags go up, baby. Pump me, pump me, pump me. Take a look at Kava. Should have been looking kind of interesting today. Maybe finding the bottom area here. Well, what was this? Oh, if you make it up there, which is still valid, but now we got a lower low. Kava at an interesting price at 46 cents. For you juicy bottom feeders out there. Oh, you crypto catfish. $0.46, that's interesting. We're going to deviate for just a second. We're going to go over to Tokenmetrics and look at this one from the investor standpoint for Kava. I might have a few of these. I've never got a big bag of it, but 40 something cents is kind of talking to me a little bit, so I want to look at it right now. Of course, on the trader grade, it's got a strong sale right now. Market cap's $500 million. Circulating supply is $1 billion. All-time high was $9.11. Yeah. Could you handle a 20x? Are you looking for a 20x? If we got back up at all-time high, it's got that potential. All-time low is 28 cents. It's at 46 right now. Let's see if it's... But she's below, so you'd have to be cautious. I mean, technically, you would want to be cautious because you don't know if she's going to make a lower, another lower low, recover ground. But for your risky investor types, or I wouldn't say it's that risky when you're buying at the bottoms, I don't think this project is going anywhere. We're going to check out the investor scores over here and just kind of see what we got. How do you stack up as far as your fundamentals over here with Tokenmetrics? Now, they give it an overall grade of 73%, which is pretty good. Fundamental grade 70%. Valuation grade 94, meaning this thing is extremely undervalued. More so now than it's been in a long, long time. Technology grade coming in at 72%. This one looks interesting to me for a long-term hold. Possibly a position trade. Those are come on longer term trades. So from an investment standpoint, I think this one looks kind of interesting. Leading the world to Web3. Web3 is our big narrative coming, where we own our data versus the company stealing it and selling it to, you know, other third-party things, giving away all your information and insight on you. It's like you have a digital avatar that, oh my God, introduce AI into that and wonder how they're reading your mind? They're figuring you out. That's why we need more privacy here before they just kind of hack humanity. Kava is a centralized blockchain that combines the speed and interoperability of Cosmos ecosystem with the developer power of Ethereum. This was an old, you know, they've been around for a while. They're not a new, this is not a new play. They're just, you know, a nice strong Cosmos ecosystem type thing, but $9 all-time high might be worth looking at. I mean, this is where you'd find out some of your information, get familiar with it, and then do you got anything? They got a bridge over there. Cool. dApps grants developers. I'm looking. Oh, okay. I'll go to your GitHub. I love checking GitHubs. I'm sure this one will... Can we get there? Do I not have internet? What the? This is kind of a scam. That's not where I was going. Well, I didn't get to GitHub. I don't know what happened to that, but that's always a place I like to check just to see. I know that they should have a good one over there, but for some reason the website's not taking me there. What should I think about that? I was looking for a roadmap really, but I think they've pretty much been around enough that they've kind of done that. One to put on your radar. That's just all I'm going to say. As well as launch the app. Oh, it's not available in my region. Is that probably why I'm having a problem? So we got that idea. It's not friendly to Americans. You can get this over on Osmosis Dex, but right now, man, we are just right below our lowest low. Look at that. So the safe play would be the wait till you got back above that, and that's about 50 cents. But for you little degens in there, out there, I don't know what's in here, 46 cents, and not a bad place to nibble. DCA if you got a little bit of a riskiness in your blood. Anyway, my major accumulation level for it is all the way up here to $1.56, and there's another one coming in here about $1.13. And you know, buying through these areas, and then after the market takes off and we start making a little bit of comeback and start heading back up, you know, $3, $4, $5, you know, buying it sub 50 cents could look interesting. Just throwing some ideas, not shilling anything. Do your own. But this one, I mean, this one has normally been, she's been a slow player, but she's kind of been one that would, you know, eventually do something. I remember looking back several times and saying, not being in this one and saying, man, I should have bought you when you were cheap. And I need some new post-it notes. I gotta put some on my radar here. In a way that I won't forget them. All right, here on my list there. Take a look at Flux, Mr. Miles. Over here on Binance, lost its main trend line there. Is that a bottom area? Hopefully we're not doing the Bart Simpson butt crack thing, where we have a lot more of accumulation to go sideways. That would suck. Well, let's clear this off and see what we got. On the daily chart, 3-day maybe. Let's go to the 3-day. I like the scallops on the bottoms. It's been doing that for years though. I would assume this would probably be some kind of rounded shape down here too that's going to make, but she's just not ready for it yet. We still got that same trend line. That's going to be resistance from here on out. She's bouncing from a 786 fib and a 200 moving average. Looking to the left, we can see that that's a support resistance or area here. Resistance or support over here, resistance here. Now it seems to be support. Might this be our new floor for this? Now she was in this bearish megaphone pattern, which they do have a very good chance to break to the downside. They're just fun to play while you're in them. But when they do break down, they usually don't go that bad. It's usually not bad at all. It's usually similar to whatever you have over, you know, the smaller take here, which we've kind of done that. Flux is looking actually good to me on this 3-day time frame. Stochastics are. I mean, I was getting ready to say we could expect to come back down here, but I can't say we would do 50 cents. It looks like we may have found our area here. It's currently 64, so 63 was the fib I've got, and lowest I've seen that went to about 58. So might we be at a bottom? We might be for you risky bottom feeders. Stochastic starting to bounce. Money flow is still in the red, but you know, hey man, always is on you. First start turnaround. It's an interesting place to watch. Conservative traders probably look at it a little different and need to have some of that confirmation since it's a higher high. Looks like she did make a higher high from here, but she hasn't regained it and kept it. That might be one of the first signs to look for if we can get above 68 cents and kind of hold it. First little sign of little bitty sliver of green coming in here on the Ichimoku cloud gives me a little bit of hope that she may be onto something and actually do that. So I would say look for her to get above the 68 cent area for flux and start keeping, say, a number go up, higher highs and higher lows, hopefully changing this trajectory. Still, this area up here about 87, 88 cents will be a headache. And wherever it comes and meets this trend line again will be a headache. And it may just have to go in its own little new course there, but this looks like a nice double bottom opportunity here. It did have a lower low, but we also got a higher high, so play her carefully, but she might be turning around, Good old flux there. Take a look at Boson. That one's been popping today. We looked at that one in the past. Got a little bit of this one. This one's been around for a little while too. I think she is also related to Cosmos ecosystem, but nice little run here on the 4 hours. So for the last day, she's been coming up from 31 cents to 40 cents and giving us from the bottom to where we are now about a nice 24% gain, which is, you know, that's better than, you know, taking a 24% dump or even worse than what it did over here. All the way down to the bottom, 27% down. Sucks for everything in altcoins. Altcoin bags have been bleeding, but if you nibbled some through there, I'm going to offset that. I am expecting altcoins to go up a little bit, but then I'm being cautious and watching for them to maybe come back down. So as we get this little possible rally coming for altcoins, I personally, from what I can see, think it's going to be short-lived or possibly short-lived. So I'm trying to take some profit, kind of de-risk a little bit, get some dry powder just in case we do get a stronger pullback, which may come. If it doesn't come, well, I got dry powder and we can just put it right back in as the number goes up and we're back and running good. But if we do get that pullback, and if you rode this roller coaster over the past few months, aren't you tired of riding it up and down? Wouldn't you like to, when it comes back down, just have, you know, a good little bag of dry powder, that tether, or maybe even Bitcoin if you look at it that way. Some kind of funds to put in the market when they're down on the low so that you can make the most profit when they bounce back. I mean, it's kind of what we're trying to shoot for, right? That's our goal. So I'm just friendly reminder there. I don't know, some of you guys might like to ride the roller coaster. Roller coaster don't make you as much money as taking some profits here and there on that roller coaster. You don't have to sell it all, but sell just a little bit at those high spots and have some stashed away for a rainy day, and it's a lot easier said than done. That's if it was so easy, we'd all be rich, right? But the happiest people you see in crypto seem to have a nice little way of taking profit and having that money available for those dips. You ever notice that? So following the channel, respecting this bottom trend line and bounced off of it. Headed back to the 200 moving average. We're both on protocol at 43 cents. We're sitting at 40 cents right now from a low of 32-ish. When I pull my fibs from swing high to swing low, fooled ya, that wasn't a fib at all, suckers. Ha! When I pull a fib from swing high to swing low. This is our point of accumulation, so this is a very important area to get out. This probably would come right in line with a breakout if we kind of make it up there. Just kind of think. If we see that, then that's probably kind of, well, you're just going by the little plan. If it kind of deviates from that, we're like, well, that side just totally sucks. Might be something else, I don't know. That scenario we need to get to is 46 cents, but once we get there, man, the big targets to look for, shorter term targets, your local targets here on this 4 hour, make a nice little swing trade, I think. Getting it up to 71 cents. Now, if you did it from the breakout and got up there, that'd be a nice 48 cents. If you are a degen like me inside, so hey, man. Actually, I wouldn't promo here on the top candle like that. But right now, where we are, 81 cents up there. That's why, you know, if you find a strategy to get in near the bottom, do it. This is not what I consider near the bottom. Near that 100 moving average, about 36 cents would be a better place if you get a pullback there. Does that be your only target? Well, this one right here, where we had this previous peak, that 0.5, would make a nice little one. That's probably where we're going to get our first little rejection. Make a nice little target there too. So if you bought the breakout and waited to buy here and got up there, that'd be about 34%. Now, I would not recommend buying now because this could be stupid. She's on a trend and she already started buying back here would be awesome. But I don't know, everybody's got a different way of looking at this. But for me personally, I would wait for this to break and then figure out where she's going to come down to, which would probably be like, you know, some kind of 618 area, like 35, 36 cents. Again, that number keeps coming back up, but that's only if this is a high. So you just got to watch, but eventually, this is the one you put on your radar because clearly she's already taken off and all the people accumulating over here are being all happy right now because they're just up. They're like, man, I bought it 33 cents and now I'm selling at 40. Woohoo! Or higher. Mr. Milo, should I swap my Flux for even more Caspa? That's an interesting question. Well, Flux looked like it was getting ready to do something, right? Possibly. Well, I have to remember what I said over here. Oh, what the hell am I on? Oh, she was down. Should you sell your Flux for some? Well, you would be selling your Flux at a loss, wouldn't you? And you'd be buying Caspa at a little bit of a higher price, wouldn't you? I don't know. I think if you believe in this, I think. Let's do one thing. Flux, I believe, is supposed to be a really a solid project. So we're going to come over to Tokenmetrics and just get a little bit of a second opinion here on Flux real quick on the investor side. Not going to go to the website or anything, but just going to kind of just look back over. Trader's got a sell signal. We'll flip over to investor. Market cap's 224 million. Circulating supply is 348 million. Total supply is 440, so 100 million left to be released over time. I believe this one is a proof of work, is correct, or else Mr. Miles would not be interested in it, most likely. A proof of work project here. Valuation grade is 97% undervalued. 97%. It's got some great scores here. I think this is a good one to have and look at having, and it's at a bottom price. Mr. Miles, I'm not trading my Flux for Caspa, and even though I like Caspa, I think Flux can do some damage here. So it's got a nice come out. So while we're waiting for Caspa to hit 20 cents from 14 or 15, you know, Flux could already come up and hit 90 or even come all the way back up and hit $1.44 at some point. The 88 cent looks good. So, not in my plans. Grimmer says, DI, how's it going, Grimmer? How's things in Germany? Let's take a look at on Coinbase over here. Same story, a lot of altcoins lost the main trend line there. Or what was perceived to be the main trend line. Well, it followed this angle, right? Yeah, well, okay, we'll stick with that. DIA, I haven't looked at this one, and I mean, this one's been around for a while. Seems like she got up to $2 or $3, or maybe even higher last time. I remember seeing her at $2 or $3, and I remember her hanging around this coin hanging around at these prices before. It does make a movement. A little bit older play. I mean, it was around last cycle too, early last cycle. It looks like it has a good chance of trying to come down here to about 34 cents, though. Let's take a closer look. I'm on the 12-hour. We kind of zoom out here. She lost her trend line. It might be going for a bearish retest and then come down. That was what I would normally look for. But if she get back, of course, I'm always going to say, if she get back into this pattern and breaks up above that trend line, that's usually bullish, and a nice, big, strong move usually comes after that. I don't see signs of it trying to do that just yet. I see signs that she might be trying to come back up to about, what is this, 44 cents? And then maybe start slowly working her way down to eventually 34. So a break of this trend line here, if we draw a top trend line, that makes a nice little place just to kind of keep our eyes on it. Because if she breaks that, then that should be a nice bullish look to her. At least that's how I try to monitor when they're on their downswing. And it could be in the channel. And the channel, you don't want to hear this, but the channel kind of suggests the 886 could come into play. Not saying that needs to. There's some good support right here. Around that 786, if it can make it down there. So you have to be kind of cautious with this. It looks like you had to just give this one a little time to kind of, so it can figure out where it's going to stop. What are you doing though? It looks like she just flipped over the 9 moving average. Let's take a look at some other things here, just so we won't miss anything. MACD's got some interesting things to say. Now, if you see these lines on the MACD, I'm on the daily. If you see the daily, the lines here cross on the MACD, and then this one get a green histogram, confirmation. Hey, man, we're starting to go up. Or maybe we'll go some kind of weird sideways, but it's a good chance that we might have a better chance of going up than not going up with that happening. So I like that. I would look for that. Because she's at an area where she should come down, but if she decides to throw everybody off, that would be a way to look at it. That's a little bit of a lagging indicator. But there's some things down here that look kind of interesting. I'm not crazy about stochastics being so high, but they're not too high yet. And so that kind of signifies that, yeah, there's some more upside that can come. It's just going to be, will it be enough to get over 44, 45 cents? All right, so now we'll come to a smaller time frame. And what we would want to see on the 4 hours for eventually price to get and regain that 200 moving average, this yellow line. And eventually all these other little moving averages will flip above it as it follows price, and then we'll be on a bullish trend. But right now we're just not there, so it's still a little shaky. But you know, if you're a risk taker, I mean, if you're playing the slow game and investing, DCAing through this range is fine. But if you're trying to trade it and catch a move, she's just not quite there yet. Maybe a short one, but that could turn around on you. So I think, yeah, we got to give this one just a little bit of time there. But I do see a possibility of 34. Mr. Mouse says, PO proof of work, correct. Mr. Mouse says, it's a great project, but Caspa is Caspa. And Mr. Mouse says, when Caspa gets past 20 cents, I think it'll jump to 30 pretty quick. Hopefully. I wouldn't get mad at it. So I can't help it. So much is about to happen with gas. Seen a drop on the 15 minute. Have we taken a look at? We haven't looked at Casper today, have we? Oh, she's at 16 cents again. I got some more orders stacked down here in this range. If she ever wants to come back and fill my bags up again, that's how I'm doing on my position things. I've just got some orders stacked, and every time they dig down, it's kind of like dipping that candle into wax, comes back up with just a little bit more. So last I looked, that bag that I'm growing my spot margin position, we had it up to 100,000. Now it's at 113,000. If it dips enough, you know, I don't care when it dips, but when it does dip, and at certain times, I'll have some orders out there just waiting for it. Add more. I'd like to get to a $200,000 bag of it. I don't know how much of it I'll be able to actually pull out to keep from that, but it'll be more than what I have on my hardware wallet, so we'll just keep adding and adding. For those of you that are kind of lost on that, I have a spot margin strategy. I use CoinEx. You can use KuCoin or Binance. They also offer spot margin. I think it's a much more safer way to use leverage. Gives you a lot more control. I'm using isolated margin on everything. You can use cross margin. I've done that before. And if the market tanks, you might tank with it. But same thing with isolated. But at least you have a little bit more finesse over it. And it's just a way that you can do some lower leverage trades over time. It's great for swing trading, position position trading, where you have a big bag, collect a big bag slowly over time. It just gives you more finesse over there. Or you can go high, you can long, you can short, you can do everything that you do. It's just like spot, but you get to borrow money and buy a lot more spot than you normally would. Well, just gotta don't borrow everything you can. Don't go crazy in debt. Borrow what you put in. Works out pretty good. Try not to go more than twice what you put in, because then you might start getting into trouble. But imagine putting $100 of collateral there, and then you can borrow $300. And you don't have to worry about being liquidated every 15 minutes on something crazy. It's interesting strategy if you're not familiar with it. Also on the radar right now is AIOZ. I like this one. I want to take a look at this one over on Tokenmetrics too. Let's see how she stacks up. How does she compare to Flux and some of the other ones we looked at here? For an investor type look, a longer term play. Because that's where you're going to make your money on these things. $500 million market cap, kind of like Flux. 1 billion in circulation. Oh wow, almost all the total supplies out. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't have that memorized. Committed to memory. All-time high was $2.65 for AIOZ, and we're sitting at 50 cents right now. Let's see how she stacks up on her scores. Pretty nice. Technology grades coming in at 36%, so interesting. The other two we looked at tonight on this had better scores, by the way, but I mean, this one's got a good score too. It's not horrible at all, so I think this is one to put on the radar too. 61%, 69%. Valuation grades, 93% undervalued. AIOZ. Let's zoom out and take a look at the charts. So got it on the 3 days so we can see what's really going on here. Broke that major trend line, and now she's coming down. She might. Will you come down more? If you go by the moving average strategy and, you know, support resistance, you would think that she might come down to 30 cents, but may not be the case there. We're going to pull a fib here and see if we got any other things coming in. See, she's holding the 618 area right here. She may not make it down there. She might be getting ready to bounce. She might be entertaining the thought of bouncing here. Some of the other indicators say, yeah, she's trying. I don't know if she'll pull it off. She could easily come up. Oh, man. Oh, you did it again. Oh, stop doing it. Stop doing it. I'm trying to draw here. She could come up and then come down. That's a possibility. Just depending on how this market goes over. But right now, what I'm seeing here on the 3-day, which is kind of a bigger time frame, the stochastics starting to do their liftoff thing, and when they start doing that, that's usually when you want to already have your position in. Should get a green dot coming here shortly. VWAP's coming up. The only thing weird is just that money flow is just flipped to the red. Now that's usually not great, so that usually means the upside that you get when money flows in the red, it's going to be sandbagged a lot. So it might be a little lackluster in trying to getting started there for AIOZ, but still an interesting place to think about. Maybe 50 cents is not bad for it. What is going on here? Mr. Miles says KRC20 goes live on the 30th. It's also when we're supposed to be off of MexC, I think, if you don't have the KYC thing or the Palau ID. I haven't got any notices over there, but I've been slowly moving stuff off of there for the last few months anyway. And then stablecoins comes, says Mr. Miles. Crypto 420 says, just waiting for the Caspa memes. And Digital Marathon is mining Caspa 2. This means that Coinbase and Binance have to list it. Ooh, interesting. And all other US exchanges, I imagine. That sounds good for Caspa. I think Caspa's a promising project. Here's one that I forgot to take profits on, but now it's back up again, so I might do it. It's called Banana Gun. I think it's a Telegram bot. I don't use it, but I did invest in it, and since she's back up there, should I take? I meant to do it back here, and I forgot this, and then she drops. No fun. But now she's back up there. Or I think I meant to do it here on this day, and then she dropped, and then yeah, it wasn't back there; it was here. It was recently, and now she's recovering, and looks like she might want to keep going up. I still got a $67 target there, but man, I've been doing Banana Gun for a while, so, and even I think I even bought back some here. So after the stream, it's probably that's what I need to put on my list. Banana Gun. Not sell it all, but take a little. Before the trend stops and they come back down to some crazy number, you know? So Banana Gun looking interesting. Blue Zell's also looking kind of interesting right now. I haven't been this one lately. I've played it over on MexC, but since coming off of there, I really haven't played it. She got up to about 46 and then kind of lost it after that. She was hot for a while and then people stopped talking about her. Which is what happens to all these things. They get hot for a few weeks, and then a few weeks later, somebody nobody talks about it anymore. And if you didn't sell when everybody was talking about it, well, then you have to wait till everybody talks about it again next time to sell, because she'll probably stay in the negative for a while until she gets hot again. Such is crypto. With the altcoins, I think it's a mistake if you sell out of your whole position. That seems to always be a mistake at this point in the market. But then I think it's also a mistake if you just try to hold on to it all, just riding it all up and down. I think the smart play to do with your altcoins is when they're up good, you know, take 10, 20, 25% of it, you know. That seems to work pretty well. Otherwise, you just watch it go up and down, up and down, up and down, bobbing up and down. Blue Zell's trying. I don't know. I think she can still. Oh, let's pull a fib. It looks like she can still come down to me. Just respecting that. So maybe retest it again might be a possibility. About 21 cents. Eventually I consider getting up to 38 and back up to this area, and that would be kind of nice. And from where we are now up there, it's about 44% move. Going back to all-time highs, be 47, about 50 cents. 26 cents, not bad for Blue Zell, but the target that you would really want to look at if you're playing this for a longer term, in my personal opinion, about 65 cents could be on the table for a bigger target. And that might be worth it. Even if you bought in at 26 cents up there, it'd be 144% gains. That's not bad. But she is kind of a slow mover, you know, kind of choppy a little bit. So, Blue Zell. I think she's also related to Cosmos ecosystem in some kind of odd way. Selena says, why does that mean Coinbase and Binance have to... Oh, not talking to me? Fishmouse says, they don't have to, but the market will... the market pressure will push them in that direction. Yeah, I could see that. U.S. mining companies want to sell to U.S. exchanges, says Mr. Mouth. Well, guys, I've been going for an hour trying to keep these streams... I say this, but it hardly ever works out that way. They're in 2-hour streams. Trying to keep them somewhere around an hour, just so somebody will say, "Oh, I might watch it for a few minutes anyway." Like they see a 2.5-hour stream. Even I see a 2.5-hour stream. I'm like, "Oh hell no! I'm not sitting here for 2.5 hours listening to the talk." So, I can understand that. But we went over some lots of good coins tonight. Looked at the market, Bitcoin and altcoins, and just to reiterate, I am looking for maybe a little bit of a rally for altcoins. Now, I've been waiting for this for a while. Looks like she may be late, but I was expecting hopefully it would come back over here. Didn't. Maybe come over here, didn't. It looks like we might actually get with this breakout and actually get a little bit of a chance for a rally on altcoins. And if we do that, well, I am going to make sure that I get more dry powder than I normally have successfully carried out in the past. That's my game plan, just in case we come down lower. And if not, just in case, well, it's time for me to pull out some of my collateral anyway. All right. So I'm looking to try to do some things with me altcoins. Getting back on track from the little futures mishaps that we had. And back on that horse, but slowly, taking it cautiously. Building that bag up. And hopefully I can share that stuff with you tomorrow. I don't have you hooked up here yet to show tonight. Besides, nothing major going on. Bitcoin just trying to do what Bitcoin does. She's back down at... Oh, I did the wrong thing there. Bitcoin's back down to 61.9. Can't seem to break past 62 right now. 62,000 on Bitcoin just yet. Come down on a smaller time frame like the 6-minute. And she's got some rounding here, so this has a good chance to fall, or maybe even it could even just round back over to about this halfway point here too. I'm looking for a possibility of a drop, and I'm not sure if we're going to get past 62.5. Maybe come up here to 63. Any of these areas over here. I mean, but mostly here we're at the 618. We're at the 618, and we're not quite getting it, so I would expect maybe a little bit of a pullback on Bitcoin. Slowly. She's just... Bitcoin does what Bitcoin does. Nothing really exciting, but... At least, you know, we're not going down to 48 right now. And this does have a tendency to break to the downside. If you see it breaking up, well, that's an interesting train to jump on while it's running. I'm just saying, I usually see parabolic movements with rising channels and rising wedges when they go break to the upside, because they're not supposed to. They're supposed to come down. And when things kind of go against their TA, what they're normally supposed to do, it usually turns out to be a strong move. So that's one of the little things that we kind of look for here on this channel. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I'm going to go ahead and close out the stream. It's 11:28, and we'll be back tomorrow and checking out the markets, monitoring them as they go this week, trying to make that money in the summertime when it just doesn't seem to want to be there just yet. Lots of FUD in there. They're trying to take your Bitcoin. Don't let them take your Bitcoin. Make sure you keep some Bitcoin. Having that Bitcoin has been the key for me managing my portfolio through this whole thing. Having the majority in Bitcoin will make your life so much easier when it comes to trading altcoins, when it comes to managing your portfolio, because you need it. It acts not only as your saving accounts, but as your dry powder. There's so much you can do with Bitcoin if you use it. It's extremely versatile. The dollars just suck and stop being worth stuff. So I'm just saying. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Come on, come here, bud. Come on.
3-hour stream. 3-hour stream. 3-hour stream. That's a wrap. It's a taco. Pumpkin.
I don't need to
Sprout says having the majority of mining gas has worked out better. Good night, everybody. God bless you.
Good night, John boy.